just for context, because a few more interesting people just turned up in the last one. So they've had about 2 weeks or so to do this sort of proof of concept prototype and to present their ideas, to get some feedback and stuff. And they need to wrap up whatever it is their project is by the end of November, the end of the year. So about 4 months or so. So it's up to them a bit to define whether they're trying to build a polished sort of vertical slice or a finished like small game or something. So they should probably give you an idea of what they're up to there, or you could ask if you're wondering. That's about it, I think. So we'll head into the next one. Go for it.
Hi, we're the Wild Wolves, and today I'm going to be talking to you about the game that we've been working on called Project Omega. So, what is Project Omega? Well, it's a turn-based strategy survival game where you play as a wolf, and you have to survive in a harsh modern wilderness by hunting prey, avoiding predators, and finding water. Meanwhile, you want to be building your pack and also gaining territory in order to survive and thrive. I'll now pass it on to Josh.
So, to help us to assist us with keeping on scope of this project, programs have designed 2 tools to allow us to make and reiterate on maps that we choose to create. They have the tile designer and the map designer. Now, the tile designer, when the artists create assets, they'll allow us to grab those assets and put them into a hex tile, and we'll be able to rotate the scale of how we choose. We make as many of those as we can, and we throw them into the map designer, which will allow us to create a hex grid map based on whatever size we like, say 8, 10, 10, etc. And we'll be able to put certain tiles in certain places to allow us to continually just make maps as quick as we can and get them out there really quickly to test and reiterate. And if we need to make changes, we throw them back in, make changes, and so forth. The art style of the game is going to be very highly vivid colours and
That game sucks.
feeling vivid colours and highly stylized, very large and sized character models to compare to the rest of the environment.
I'm going to just show off a short gameplay demo and talk about how the game is actually going to function.
Please feel free to ask any questions you may have during the gameplay section. So from here, we start off in one of our testing build maps. You're a new wolf to the area, and for all intents and purposes of this demo, we'll showcase eating, drinking, and the more turn-based elements of the core turn-based elements of the game. So how a player might conduct a turn is they have action points showcased at the top left of the screen. And these action points deplete on a basis of what the player does, say moving to a tile, eating some food, or drinking some water. Some actions and tiles will take more action points than others. So if a player hasn't eaten or drank anything in a while, this little minus symbol next to the main number will appear. And that's just a light prod to get the player moving towards what they need to do. If they fail to do so in the next turn, as indicated by the food here, it'll tick down all the way down to 0. If you hit 0 on either of these hunger or thirst numbers, your health will start depleting until you starve to death. Over here we have one of the primary threats, a poacher tower. If you linger too long in the tower's sidelines and you decide to end your turn, take a shot and you'll lose a lot of health. So first things first, we get out of the tower's sight range by either ducking into cover or just moving out of range. So right now we've just docked we've docked out of sight into Dense Forest Station here. The tower can no longer track us, so we can drink and eat in relative peace. Since the tower's covering this area, we know not to go there. So let's move this way. Except a slight problem, there's also a tower up here. Another area we don't go. So let us continue downwards then. Over here, we have one such area that a player might rush towards to fill out a primary objective of the game is to claim territory. And this tile here, which we affectionately call the Den, would be one such area that a player would begin their territory markings there and expand out to back the other way towards pond. So have a place to kick feet and collect water at any given point. Unfortunately, we don't have combat in this demo, but it was a core feature and a primary means for a player to gather food as necessary.
How's combat work?
So combat works in a similar manner to the Civilization series. So if a enemy were on this tile here, and we had action points remaining, we would select this enemy, the player character would turn to face and begin an attack. Some terrain modifiers would apply, and these terrain modifiers go both ways to assist the player and impede the player.
What sort of metagame are you thinking of? Like, is it going to be a series of levels and kind of more puzzly, like campaign kind of style?
Thereabouts.
Or multiplayer? Or yeah, so we're looking at a small single player experience, and the player, when they come into the game, they can choose from a couple of the maps that we're planning on making, and they're able to then explore and play, and there'll just be different sizes and create different challenges on each map. So there'll be like, so yeah, zoning maps, so they're having kind of, I guess, series of maps that you go through. Yes, you can choose which maps you want to go through.
We've got about 3 or 4 minutes, so yeah, that's the end of the presentation?
Yes, that is
Okay,
the
yeah,
presentation.
cool. Continue.
You mentioned getting a pack, so you get more wolves that
Sorry?
join you. Do you have more wolves that join you?
Yes, you will.
How do you control more growth?
Yeah, so you won't have direct control over your wolf pack, you have control over your wolf that you play. So they will go, that's one of the reasons why you want to form a territory. So when you have a territory, you gain wolves, and then they'll appear in your territory, and then they will, when you want to approach a difficult task, you can call your wolf, in like a small action that you can press, and they will, the tokens will go towards you, and they will give you a buff, basically on when you're doing like an attack or something like that.
I guess one thing it seems like it might end up being a bit, feeling a bit simple, like you won't have very fine proportion in terms of ramping up the complexity and the difficulty, especially if you're not controlling other wolves, because you kind of, there's not many, you can use some stat upgrades to the wolf maybe along the way, but it's not like you can kind of suddenly get a very gun and shoot and go up or something like that, so like combat's going to be sort of one tile to the next tile. So yeah, I guess it works as a sort of a more puzzly strategy thing, but then you might want to think about ways you can add complexity so that the levels can evolve to be a bit more complicated as the player gets further into it.
Yeah, just to expand on that, like I definitely agree in the sense I see the most potential in this game being like a more puzzle game. Like if you're shooting for like a strategy survival game, you're expecting like sort of longer sort of strategic play where maybe you're fighting against something that's intelligent. Whereas like I guess the more intelligent you make something, the harder it is to make that thing, right? Like because you need to put in the work to make it interesting to play against. So I mean, if you design the levels like that, like more like stages, like and then there's like a way or several ways that you can get from A to B or whatever the victory condition is, probably seems like a much more like likely or easily attained gameplay loop. If you shoot for strategy, I mean, yeah, it's going to be difficult. Like, I guess a huge problem I see in this is like end turn. There was only one thing that I saw that happened in the whole game so far is end turn, like, causes damage if you're in a particular zone. Like, as far as I'm concerned, there shouldn't be an end turn yet, right? Like, you should try and sort of more closely define like what you're doing, what the player's actually doing, like second to second, and if there aren't any events happening in an end turn, then maybe you don't have an end turn phase. Just trim it out. Like, the best design is the lowest complexity version of what you're trying to achieve.
That's a good question. How many programmers are in the group? Two. Okay, and the tools you're making look like they're super useful and pretty quick to turn around at this point. But something to be really wary of going forward is you've got core systems to develop, and those tools particularly could be found in the asset store for under $5 or $10. So while you are developing tools, it's really useful when you're at uni to get that experience, and they're useful to your team. Do make sure that they don't exist in a cheap way that you just get immediately, and spend more time actually making the game, because that's what you're here to make. So, but it is looking good so far, so it's not a criticism, just
And plus, in general, cheat. Like, go to the stores and stuff and see what tools there are to use, because professionals do it.
I think that looks good. It's got like a pretty clear, strong elevator pitch, Spider's Wolf. All this like graphic design around it is so gorgeous, and then the in-game stuff is going to sort of a much more demanding art style that's then less striking as well. I feel like you could, because in order to fill that amount of environment with 3D stuff that's really painstakingly textured, that's sort of realistic, and then sort of somehow make that more bright, that's going to be heaps of work. Where you've already got this book that's just like super bold and striking. I do feel like you could do a less laborious art style that was just more focused on colours, and heaps of the things on that screen are not ever shown from a different angle, so they don't necessarily need to be 3D. You could have the wolf and certain things that are rotating and having 3D animation sets being 3D, and then actually a lot of the other things just being a simple, like, flat 2D drawing, if you went with a more colour cut-out sort of style that looked more like this concept stuff. Obviously, you've just got a whole lot of different artists, and you're trying to make a thing that suits everyone, so I understand it's not maybe to everyone's tastes, but that might be a way to get like a bolder look with less work, because as soon as the fidelity of some rocks is a certain level, then everything around it has to also be that fidelity for it to not look out of place. And I think the kind of fidelity that you're looking at with Armello and stuff is it's just a huge labor in terms of just man hours to get that stuff. Whereas you could knock out some stuff that looks more like this concept, I think, a lot more quickly, and it'd be really, really bold and eye-catching.
Yeah, this stuff, like the 2D stuff's